I'm always looking at my Pinterest, and I have I have thousands of pins saved, and thousands of articles bookmarked on my computer, and just like thousands of YouTube videos saved in playlists that I don't watch and I don't use and I don't really pay attention to. I just sort and categorize and just save all this information that I'm interested in, clearly, because it's what I do in my spare time, doomscrolling like everybody else, but I just never use it. And yeah, somewhere in those thousands of things that I've saved over the years literally is everything I've wanted to learn ever. I just was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how I just never feel like, even though I'm always exposed to information, I'm never really actually feeling like I'm learning stuff or gaining new insights or new skills or being able to use new different information in different ways. I don't know, I just feel like when you're an adult, you sometimes just stop learning and you don't even notice until you just realize you're just mindlessly consuming things, mindlessly doom scrolling, and all of a sudden it's like all these hours you spent on a screen could have been spent actually building something concrete. So let's back up. What was I thinking about when I realized this? Even though I consume a lot of different things, but I guess most of it would be self-improvement type stuff. How to improve your aesthetics, how to improve your job skills, how to improve your creative skills, etc., etc. Stuff that I want to learn, stuff that I want to do. I'm just cultivating the reality that could have been. You know what I mean? I'm not actually cultivating the skills that are in the links that I save, or storing the information away in a productive kind of way that I can use or retain. I'm just looking at things, saving them, moving on. And I realized that if I would have just been actionable towards that information, I would have been able to have the different possibilities. It's opportunities you didn't take, or it's basically collecting not just information, but collecting different possibilities of stuff you could have done or could have learned or could have went to, or stuff you could have had an opinion on, but you just didn't. So I have kind of a theory, and that is that, well, instead of over-consuming information, what I need is guardrails. I need to not just lower the amount of things to pick from, because right now it's an open world sandbox type situation where you can go anywhere and do anything on the internet, but it's too expansive to act upon in any meaningful way. So I need to lower that down into more like an RPG, dialogue interactive screen where there's 3 choices to pick from and they all lead to different things. So I thought the best way to do this was to hop on the trend of the personal curriculum. And why did I choose the personal curriculum kind of thing? That's because, well, I just like the trend. I think it's fun, I think it's cute, and I think it, bolsters creativity, and it's kind of inspiring and motivating. But I also think that the structured element of it, how it kind of seeks to replicate the structure of a school setting and classes, and in classes there's definite structure. You build up skills and then you test those skills out, right? You build up knowledge and then you meet goals using that knowledge. And yeah, I think that's really productive. Obviously it is, because then we wouldn't use it for teaching things to kids. I'm gonna hop on that trend and make a personal curriculum, and I think it'll be a lot of fun also. I am a person who really is like a lifelong learner. I have like one of my hobbies is literally like research and editing Wikipedia. So I think that it's really surprising to me that I haven't like done this earlier, you know? And I just want to share a little bit of the process for you guys because, well, I wanted to put it up on YouTube because I thought it would be fun and like, yeah, I thought it would be fun and creative to like document how it's going and help me build up my YouTube skills. And yeah, I thought that, well, I wanted to document like not just the journey and everything, but like I wanted to document the process of how I make my personal curriculum and how you can adjust the whole kind of theme for people who have a lot of interests and are multi-passionates, like ADHD brains. You can adjust it to fit our needs too and make it accessible to us. So I thought it would be fun to share that with YouTube. Yeah, I also thought it would help people make their own personal curriculums and see what helped me and where I had setbacks to see, you know, if that might help them, you know, meet their goals. Yeah, I just think it's fun. Everything is basically for fun anyways, so the way that I'm doing this that may be a little bit different from other people is that I'm only picking, you know, a few things to focus on, but I'm going to focus on those smaller amount of things for a shorter amount of time. And that way I'll be able to make more mini goals and smaller goals along the way that build up to the same big goal. Hopefully, that's my idea. So how I picked my classes was that I basically followed my interests, and that is because I'm a person with ADHD who has a lot of different interests and different things pulling my attention in different ways all the time. So I also have special interests, and those are like really intense interests that you have kind of for shorter times. And to find these, because sometimes like defining your own interests and passions and hobbies, sometimes it can be difficult to put them into categories. So what I did was I just looked at my Pinterest boards, found, you know, the categories that I had the most interest in recently and the things I've saved the most and doomscrolled about the most. So I picked lots of different things. I picked like 7 things, but I'm going to narrow it down. So I picked, these are the boards that I was like, oh, that looks interesting, or like that interested me most recently. Was photography, pets, art, aesthetics, like books and reading, bikes, and plants and gardening. And so out of those, I like rated them. I was like, oh, this is like, you know, good. I wanted to pick things that would fit like the structure of a class and the structure of a syllabus kind of well. And I wanted to pick things that could fit the structure of like a class style system really well. And I also really wanted to have things that would tie into my in real life, you know, my work as a content creator and on YouTube, and just improving my skills. And I wanted to pick things that had relevance for my in real life, you know, self. Things that I could use, I could build skills towards that I could use in real life, you know. And I decided that I would choose 3 things to curriculumify or gamify into my life, or into like a syllabus style thing. And those 3 that I picked were photography, so that ties into this channel right here. That's like going to be not just photography, but also, you know, video editing, thumbnails, packaging, pacing, everything like that. And also art, like, so that will be like trying different art skills and design concepts, color theory. Hopefully it can elevate my branding and everything, and visually the things that I do here as a content creator. And the last one is going to be gardening and plants, because I really want to improve my knowledge of permaculture, so that way I can use and implement some permaculture ethos and like practices into my actual garden plans for my actual garden, and also for anything that I'm growing back there or any projects that I have for back there. My hope from this whole thing is that it will not only let me have more fun with like learning new skills, but it will inspire consistency and more motivation and help me reach my goals. In the end, I don't think that the personal curriculum is out of reach for people who need a little bit of adjustment, or people who are a little bit neurodiverse, or just, can't make the full commitment of a full like quarterly syllabus, etc., of planning. I think that just making it accessible to myself and my brain will make it easier to make better choices and be more consistent in the skills and habits that I really want to build to meet my goals. So yeah, guys, in the end, I really just wanted to go over, the start of my personal curriculum and share that with you guys, not only for my personal benefit, but hopefully it provided some value and helped you guys out in the direction that you want to go with your personal curriculum if you decide that you were so inspired. And I really hope it helps all of us cut down on doomscrolling and just mindless consumption. And so my tips for making the personal curriculum more accessible are basically boiled down to scaling down the goals that you use your personal curriculum to meet. Also, following your interests, especially if you are ADHD or ADHD. I think that we are very interest-driven people, and by doing that, it will go a long way towards how consistent you are with your personal curriculum. I also think that it needs to be super relevant. It needs to be things you need to be working towards, not just like homework assignments. I mean, you can do that if you want, if it brings you joy and helps you, then go right ahead, be my guest. But I think that making it relevant, especially if it's your first time making a personal curriculum or anything like that, like adult learning, or is your first approach to it, I think that it needs to be relevant to your in real life things that you are going to use or that you can use in the near future. And then that was my last thing, is make it really short term. So my personal curriculum right now, I'm only going to make it for a few days, and because I want to use the things that I learn right away. So by doing that, I'm hoping that it will stave off some of the pain of delayed gratification that we sometimes feel with ADHD, and that way it will be more motivating to cross something off like a goal list and be able to use something right away. So yeah, guys, that was it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you liked the video, please give me a like, thumbs up. It really does help the channel. And if you loved the video, consider subscribing for more about personal curriculums, planning, ADHD, and everything else under the sun. If you made it this far into the video, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You are awesome. Have a great day. Bye.